Magnesium has long been praised as a miracle mineral in the world of health, and rightfully so. It's involved in more than 300 essential biochemical processes in the body, from calming the nervous system to maintaining a steady heartbeat. That's why more and more people, especially those over 60, are adding magnesium supplements to their daily routine, hoping to protect their health, sleep better, and ease aches and pains. But there's a hidden danger that few people talk about: kidney damage. Magnesium from supplements doesn't just disappear once consumed. It needs to be filtered and eliminated by the kidneys. And when your kidneys have started to slow down with age, as they often do, magnesium can begin to build up in your bloodstream. What happens next? A drop in blood pressure, irregular heartbeat, fatigue, and in serious cases, even a heart attack. The scary part is that kidney disease often shows no clear symptoms in its early stages. I had a friend who went through this. He had no idea anything was wrong until he landed in the hospital in critical condition. In this video, I'll show you 7 subtle signs of kidney dysfunction most people over 60 miss, the right way to supplement with magnesium to avoid harm, and the safest forms of magnesium for aging kidneys. If you or someone you love is currently taking magnesium, type "I'm using it" in the comments below. This video could help you avoid a silent mistake that millions of people over 60 are still making without even realizing it. Do you often find yourself waking up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom, even though you've tried limiting fluids before bed? Many people over 60 consider this normal, just a part of aging. But the truth is, frequent nighttime urination may be one of the earliest and quietest signs that your kidneys are beginning to struggle. When your kidneys are healthy, they help your body retain water overnight, allowing you to sleep soundly and uninterrupted. But when their filtering function begins to decline even slightly, your body starts releasing fluids at the wrong time. That's when you find yourself waking up at 1 a.m., then 3, then 5, and each time your sleep becomes more fragmented. The real danger is how silently kidney damage develops. It doesn't shout, it whispers. It begins with vague signs: slight puffiness in the eyes in the morning, a little swelling in the feet after a long day, fatigue that has no clear cause, or simply poor, broken sleep. Most people dismiss these signs, assuming they're just part of getting older. I once met a woman named Mai, 66 years old. She told me she had grown used to waking up 3 or 4 times each night. But during a routine checkup, her doctor discovered that her kidney function had already dropped by over 40%. What upset her most wasn't the diagnosis. It was realizing that her body had been signaling trouble for months, and she hadn't listened. And if you're taking magnesium, one of the most commonly used supplements, your risk may be even higher. Magnesium doesn't disappear on its own. It must be filtered out by the kidneys. So if your kidneys are already underperforming and you continue taking high-dose magnesium, it can begin to build up in your blood. The result: low blood pressure, irregular heartbeat, lingering fatigue, or even a sudden heart attack. So if you're waking up frequently at night to urinate, don't ignore it. It might not be just water. It might be your kidneys quietly asking for help long before lab results reveal a problem. Listen closely. Sometimes your body whispers before it screams. And if we pay attention early enough, we may still have time to protect what matters most. If you're still watching and finding this helpful, please leave a 1 in the comments so I know you're here with me. Who knows, your simple comment might help another senior realize they're not alone in this journey. Now, let me ask you something honestly. Have you been feeling tired? Even after getting a full night's sleep, you wake up already feeling sluggish. You go through the day fighting to stay alert, heavy eyes, foggy thoughts, just wanting to lie down. Maybe you've told yourself it's just aging, or maybe your diet. But here's the truth. Persistent fatigue is not a normal part of getting older. It's a warning sign, and sometimes the cause is your kidneys working in silence. Your kidneys don't just filter waste, they also help produce red blood cells, which carry oxygen to every cell in your body. When kidney function starts to decline, red blood cell production drops. The result, you feel weak, tired, short of breath even with the simplest tasks. I remember talking to Mr. David, a 72-year-old retired teacher. He used to ride his bike every morning. But lately, he told me he felt tired all the time and stayed home instead. It wasn't until a health check that he found out his kidneys had been declining for quite a while without him realizing. And if you're taking magnesium supplements, you should pay even closer attention. When your kidneys are underperforming, they can't eliminate excess magnesium properly. One of the earliest signs of magnesium buildup is chronic fatigue. Not just feeling sleepy, but that deep, heavy tiredness where your body feels slow and your mind can't quite catch up. So don't dismiss it. If your body is whispering something through your tiredness, listen. Because if we ignore the whisper, we may not be ready when it becomes a scream. Have you ever looked down at your feet at the end of the day and noticed your shoes suddenly feel tighter than usual? Or maybe when you take off your socks, you see deep marks around your ankles as if your legs had been soaking in water all afternoon. At first, you might think, I was just standing too much, or maybe I ate something salty. But if the swelling keeps returning or begins to show up in your hands or face, it's time to pay attention, because this could be one of the first warning signs from your kidneys. When your kidneys are functioning well, they help eliminate excess fluid and sodium from your body. But as kidney function begins to decline even slightly, water starts to build up in your soft tissues, leading to noticeable swelling. This most often shows up in the feet, ankles, wrists, or even under your eyes. I've heard so many older adults say, "My legs swell a bit, but that's just aging." But the truth is, as your kidneys weaken, your body may retain hundreds of milliliters of fluid each day, fluid that should have been flushed out. And this silent retention begins to raise your blood pressure, strain your heart, and quietly damage your arteries from within. What many don't realize is that too much magnesium can make this even worse. When excess magnesium isn't filtered out properly, it disrupts your electrolyte balance, especially sodium and potassium, causing the body to retain more water. The result? You feel heavier, more bloated, more uncomfortable in your limbs. So, what can you do? First, don't rush to take more diuretics or suddenly cut your water intake. Instead, start by getting your kidney function tested regularly, especially if you're using magnesium supplements. Second, choose more absorbable forms of magnesium, like magnesium glycinate, and start with a low dose to avoid overload. And finally, pay attention to even the smallest signals your body gives you. For people over 60, even minor swelling in the legs could be a gentle knock at the door from a problem that's slowly getting closer. Have you ever felt itchy all over, even though you weren't bitten by bugs? Didn't eat anything strange, and the weather felt just fine. Some days, you're sitting on the couch watching TV, yet you keep scratching. At night, you toss and turn, trying to ignore the itch on your back or arms. You think it's just dry skin, so you apply lotion, but nothing really helps. Most people assume it's just a skin issue. But for those over 60, it might be a sign of something deeper, something happening in your blood. When your kidneys begin to weaken, they lose their ability to filter waste effectively. Toxins that should have been flushed out through your urine begin to build up in your bloodstream. And one of the earliest and most overlooked effects shows up on your skin. Your skin becomes drier, more prone to flaking, and especially prone to persistent itching with no clear cause. No rash, no swelling, just an uncomfortable, lingering itch that makes it hard to relax, hard to focus, and even harder to sleep. I once spoke with a woman named Linda, 68 years old. She told me, "I thought it was allergies. I kept visiting dermatologists, but no one found the problem. It wasn't until I had a full blood test that the doctor discovered my kidney function had dropped to just 45%. That's when I realized the itch wasn't from my skin. It was from my blood. And if you're taking magnesium, this matters even more. When excess magnesium isn't filtered out properly, it can disrupt your electrolyte balance and slow down toxin elimination, making the itching and dryness even worse. So, what can you do? First, stop self-treating with lotions or allergy pills without knowing the root cause. Instead, schedule a kidney function test, especially if you've been experiencing persistent dryness, itching, or even a slight yellowing of the skin. And don't forget, staying properly hydrated is one of the simplest and most affordable ways to help your kidneys function better. Because sometimes the itch isn't coming from outside. It's a quiet cry for help from deep inside your blood. If you're still watching and finding these insights helpful, please drop a quick comment saying, "I'm still here." It's a small gesture, but it reminds us that after 60, health isn't something we can take for granted, and knowledge may just be the thing that protects us before it's too late. Now, let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed that after you urinate, there's a layer of foam or bubbles floating on the surface, and it doesn't go away quickly like it usually would? At first, it might seem harmless. Maybe you thought it was just a strong stream, or perhaps you ate something salty. But if this keeps happening day after day, it may be your body whispering a warning that your kidneys are leaking protein. Healthy kidneys act like intelligent filters. They keep important things like protein inside your body and remove only waste. But when those filters become damaged, protein starts slipping into your urine, creating that persistent foamy appearance. This is known medically as proteinuria, and it's often one of the earliest signs of chronic kidney disease, especially in its silent early stages. I remember a 66-year-old man who told me, "I thought the bubbles were from being a little dehydrated. But when I took a microalbumin test, my doctor said my protein levels had already passed the danger threshold." Now, if you're also supplementing with high-dose magnesium, it's even more important to pay attention. When kidney function is impaired, excess magnesium can't be flushed out efficiently. It disrupts the filtering pressure and accelerates the leakage of protein quietly and without obvious symptoms. So what can you do? First, ask your doctor for a microalbumin urine test if you've been seeing foam regularly. It's quick, painless, and incredibly important. Second, if you're taking magnesium, consider lowering your dose and switching to a more absorbable form like magnesium glycinate. And finally, stay hydrated throughout the day. Not just all at once. This gives your kidneys steady support and reduces their burden. Because sometimes, what seems like just a few bubbles in the toilet could be the first ripple of a much deeper problem silently forming beneath the surface. It's late at night. You're asleep, and suddenly, a sharp cramp in your calf jolts you wide awake. Or perhaps you're lying in bed, unable to settle, because your legs just won't stop twitching. They feel uncomfortable, like a current of electricity running beneath your skin. If this has been happening more often, don't rush to blame it on just getting older or not enough calcium. This could be your kidneys waving a red flag. You see, your kidneys don't just filter toxins. They also help regulate key minerals like magnesium, potassium, and calcium the very elements that keep your muscles and nerves functioning properly. When kidney function starts to decline even slightly, that delicate mineral balance is disrupted, and your body starts sending signals. Painful nighttime leg cramps that seem to come out of nowhere. Restless legs that won't settle, especially when you lie down. A strange tingling, almost electric sensation in your joints or bones. Many people dismiss these as normal signs of aging or blame it on inactivity. But in reality, these are clear signs of magnesium imbalance, often triggered by impaired kidney function. Even more concerning, if you're taking magnesium supplements incorrectly, things can get worse. When your kidneys are weak, excess magnesium doesn't get filtered out. It builds up silently, leading not just to cramps but also to fatigue, nausea, and in severe cases, irregular heartbeat. So what can you do? First, choose a highly absorbable form of magnesium like magnesium citrate or glycinate. This helps your body use what it needs without overloading your kidneys. If your cramps are recurring, ask your doctor for a blood test. Check magnesium, potassium, and kidney filtration rate (GFR). And finally, focus on natural food sources of magnesium: leafy greens, almonds, pumpkin seeds, oats, gentle on the body and rich in long-term benefits. Listen to your legs, because sometimes every cramp at midnight is your kidneys whispering, "I need help." You used to love that favorite dish of yours, but lately, even when it's prepared the same way, it just doesn't taste right. Sometimes, there's even a strange metallic or rusty taste in your mouth, unpleasant and unfamiliar. You're not sick and nothing seems seriously wrong, yet you don't feel like eating anymore. If this sounds familiar, your body might be quietly warning you that your kidneys are struggling to eliminate toxins and their filtering power is declining. You see, your kidneys are responsible for removing urea, a waste product formed when your body breaks down protein. When kidney function starts to decline, urea begins to accumulate in the blood, leading to a condition known as uremia. And that excess urea doesn't just stay silent, it affects your taste, causes a metallic sensation in the mouth, leads to nausea, poor appetite, and often unexplained weight loss. This sign is easy to miss. Many older adults assume it's just aging, or maybe I skipped a meal. But in truth, this is a critical signal that your kidneys are falling behind in their job. Now, if you've been taking magnesium supplements to boost your health, that's good. But here's the catch: if your kidneys can't flush out magnesium properly, the toxins that are supposed to be filtered get trapped even longer in your system. This can worsen the metallic taste, increase nausea, and further reduce your desire to eat. So what can you do? Pay attention to changes in taste. Don't ignore a persistent metallic flavor in your mouth. Ask your doctor for a blood test to check your urea and creatinine levels. It's simple, but vital. And instead of relying on pills, try to get your magnesium from natural food sources. They support digestion and place less burden on your kidneys. Because sometimes, the loss of appetite isn't about mood or age. It's your kidneys, quietly asking for help. You might be doing this with the best of intentions, taking magnesium to sleep better, reduce cramps, or support your blood pressure. But there's one truth that very few people will tell you. Not all types of magnesium are safe, especially after the age of 60 when kidney function naturally begins to decline. Many common forms of magnesium on the market, such as magnesium oxide, are poorly absorbed. This means most of it must be excreted through the kidneys. And if your kidneys aren't filtering as well as they used to, that unabsorbed magnesium can build up in your blood, leading to a dangerous condition called magnesium toxicity. The scary part, you won't notice it right away. The early signs are vague, mild nausea, a slower heart rate, a strange sense of fatigue. But if you continue taking the wrong type of magnesium, the situation can escalate into low blood pressure, irregular heartbeat, or even cardiac arrest. A 67-year-old woman once shared her story. "I bought magnesium to help me sleep better. But after a while, I started feeling unusually drowsy during the day. When I went for a checkup, the doctor told me my magnesium levels were dangerously high because my kidneys couldn't flush it out." So, what's the safe and effective solution? Avoid low absorption types like magnesium oxide. Choose bioavailable forms that are easier on your kidneys like magnesium glycinate or magnesium citrate. If you've been feeling unexplainably tired or unwell, ask your doctor for a magnesium blood test to catch any imbalance early. And most importantly, remember that not every supplement is right for everyone. After 60, your body changes, and so should your choices. Sometimes, the smartest thing you can do for your health is to step back, listen to your body, and choose what truly fits your unique needs. Because after 60, your well-being might depend on the smallest decision, choosing the right kind of magnesium. We've just explored 8 silent but dangerous signs that your kidneys may be overwhelmed, and how taking magnesium the wrong way could make things worse. From fatigue, leg cramps, and changes in taste to the hidden risks of choosing the wrong form of magnesium. Each of these is your body's quiet way of asking for help. I know, no one wants to believe their kidneys are slowing down, especially when everything seems fine on the outside. But that silence is exactly what makes it so dangerous. What you need isn't fear, it's awareness. Because when you truly understand what your body needs, you stop worrying and start taking calm, confident action. If you found this information helpful, please click like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends and loved ones, especially those who are taking magnesium every day. And let me know in the comments, what kind of magnesium are you using right now? Your answer might just help someone else avoid a serious mistake. After 60, health is no longer just about you. It becomes a gift you pass on to the people you care about. And sometimes, one right decision today can shape the next 10 years of your life.